Hello, Aries. My name is Jillian West, and if your sun, moon, or rising is in the sign of Aries, then this reading is for you. This is a collective love reading, so just take the messages that resonate. I am so sorry. I've been really MIA. I feel bad, like I've neglected you guys, but I've just been really busy with private readings. If you guys would like to get one, I will post a link in the comments as well as the description. But yeah, so it's been hard to get on here and just do general readings, but I wanted to come and see how everyone's doing, see what's going on in the love energy for Aries, what's to come. All right, let's get into this. All right. Ooh, Ten of Pentacles. That's exciting to see. The Ten of Pentacles is really long-term stability in a relationship. So if you are in a new relationship, this could be a sign that it's going to go the distance and it could be really stable. Or if you aren't in a relationship, this just might mean that somebody's coming in that could provide this. I apologize. My cat is playing with a toy underneath my chair right now. And if I move her, she's going to be pissed. All right, here I'm going to move the cards a little so you guys can see them better. It is a 7-card spread with the final message we save for at the end. Let's see what's going on here. Ooh, okay. Queen of Swords is interesting. This could be somebody who's withholding their feelings, or they have a lack of clarity on a situation. It's in past energy, so you guys may have already moved past this, but for some of you, this could still mean that there's somebody who just isn't communicating how they feel about you, haven't come forward, a past person who just has cut off communication. We'll see where this is going. You could have felt manipulated by somebody. Again, this is past energy, so you may have had an ex. When I see the Magician in reverse, usually I see this as like the narcissist card, but really it's just anybody who you felt like put on some kind of mask, or like what the promises they made for you, they never actually followed through with. It can also just be somebody who did like future faking. You know, like early on, there was a lot of promises of a future together and then they just kind of ghosted you. Ooh, in current energy, we're getting the Nine of Cups and the Page of Swords. So the Nine of Cups is really about focusing on platonic relationships. Some of you guys might be in a season of just focusing on friends and family and finding joy in that and that connection. If you aren't, this can kind of be a reminder that it's important to make time for those relationships as well, and it fills your cup. Cups represent love and relationships, emotions, but when I see the nines are all about the individual. So this is how it's important, even though we might be in an era where we feel very independent, to also make sure that our cup is getting filled. The Page of Swords is sometimes a new conversation coming in, somebody wanting to talk to you. The pages usually don't result in the most in-depth conversation. So when I see this in a reading, sometimes it's, a past person who just kind of throws a text out there to kind of test the waters, like so hey, how have you been? But they're not coming in with some long emotional confession of their feelings. It can also just be somebody who has a crush on you, wanting to come forward. And again, it's more like a testing the waters energy. Yes, somebody here is afraid to take some leap of faith. And this could be a really passionate connection because we're seeing the Knight of Wands, but it's in reverse. So again, this could be like, I'm almost getting like secret crush energy off this, or possibly a past person who still has feelings. There's a little bit of this motivation from like a place of intimacy, like a place of physical attraction to you. Could be missing that intimacy, or it could be somebody new who's very attracted to you. But with the Fool in reverse, I'm seeing this resistance to take that leap of faith. Again, this hesitation. I see somebody who just wants to kind of test the waters. In the past, some of you might have been betrayed by a partner. I'm getting the Seven of Swords in reverse. This is a very selfish energy. You could see that, there's all these swords. He only has 2 hands. How many swords could he possibly need? But he's taking as much as he can for himself. And I also see it's a card of deception. And so it's not uncommon to see that with cheaters, manipulators. There's definitely somebody who wants to talk to you, though. Knight of Swords upright. Communication is big here. We're getting a lot of swords, and the swords, it deals with the mind and communication, clarity. And so somebody, it could be somebody wanting to talk to you, but it could also be that you now have this clarity on this past person who's showing up as the narcissist, and a cheater. It's not always that drastic. It can just be somebody who has a wandering eye, somebody who's afraid of commitment, somebody who you just feel like led you on. Yeah, and right now it's the Nine of Cups, and through friendship, connection, family, and other people to fill your cup, it's like healing from this heartache because it's in reverse. And so this heartache will lessen. Page of Swords. Ooh, with the Aries card, Emperor. So whatever this conversation is, it's really important to step in. I mean, these both kind of hint to that being in a place where you're like, I don't need somebody else. If somebody, wants to earn the privilege of enjoying my time, they can show me through their efforts. They can show up in certain ways. But there's no settling. We're not accepting breadcrumbs. We're not accepting the bare minimum anymore because it's that I'm happy to be alone. So if you can't show up the way that I need you to, I'm happy to just be with my friends. Again, when your cup is filled in other ways, there's not this dependency on a romantic connection. So then you can kind of have a clear view of the relationship that you really want and what you're really looking for. Oop, there we go. Then we get the Lovers card. I love the Lovers card. It is that deep connection with somebody. It's two people, sometimes it's like yin yang, and it's like two puzzle pieces that kind of fit together perfectly. And so I do see some kind of soulmate connection in the future. I think this person may kind of have some fear or hesitation around approaching you, but there's definitely a physical attraction. Ace of Cups, that's a new relationship. It kind of feels like a reward. It's like the ebbs and flows in life, for as awful as maybe this past relationship was, or this heartache that you endured, it's like now you're going to be rewarded with something on the other side. And again, astrologically, I talk about Pluto all the time, but we're really we're hours away from finally being out of this horrific Pluto cardinal sign transit that has really pushed us all, and everything in regard to relationships has been really complicated lately. If you're in a happy, healthy relationship right now, consider yourself very blessed because it's been rough out here, but it kind of feels like the reward, the light at the end of the tunnel. So we're getting a new love opportunity, could be a soulmate connection, and it does feel like the complete opposite. So you may even find yourself attracting somebody who's very different than your past partners. So it's really important to completely rewrite the script of what your type is. And that doesn't mean physically, though it can mean physically. But I mean, if you're like, oh, me, obsessed with Sagittarius, women or men, and or if it's, oh, I'm just such a sucker for, we'll say tall men, or girls with blonde hair, whatever it is, it's like break out of that a little because it's a completely new chapter. So we don't want to be repeating any of the same cycles from before. So it's that reinvent how you approach it, get into a very different relationship than the types of relationships you found yourself in the past. I'm going to get one oracle out and put that with that final message. Okay, let's keep going with this. Also, if you could hit like and subscribe, it does grow my channel. I don't post here very often. I apologize for that. But again, if you'd like a private reading, they are available. Link in the comments. Okay. Let's get into this. Oh, this is the Fool card again. You can see it's the number 0 in the deck. So it's that very first card, and it's that new beginning into a journey, but it's somebody has reservations. Somebody has hesitations. They're a little afraid to take that leap. 3 of Cups could be, so, it's coming with the 7 of Swords, which again is like a love triangle type feeling, cheating, but it's upright. And so I'm not worried about it. It's more like enjoying friends, have fun, again, fill your cup in other ways. End of an era, 10 of Wands in reverse, and also things becoming easier. I'm really happy to see this because the 10 of Wands is that card where they're carrying, it's like somebody has like 10 wands over their shoulder. It's very heavy. It's a lot of burdens. It's struggle, right? And so when it's in reverse, it's like we're coming out of that energy. All those struggles are going to become easier. Again, it's about breaking cycles and making sure that you're connecting with people who have the same intentions with you. Breaking cycles, not repeating the same mistakes. Don't go where things feel a little bit too comfortable, because if it feels too comfortable, then I forget there's like a phrase, but like it's like psychological, that we have this tendency to go back to familiar hurt rather than new joy. And it's just because we're conditioned to seek out familiarity. And so again, breaking cycles, reinventing how you approach dating, finding new people. Yeah, and it's this patience finally being rewarded. So if some of you have been single for a long time, the Seven of Pentacles is like things blossoming in their own time. If you are in a new relationship and you're kind of wondering where it's going, it's like, be patient, because this season of like true connection, it'll get there. It's just about, the Seven of Pentacles are the seeds that we plant will grow. Just trust the process, keep watering them. But it's also a reminder to make sure that we're planting those seeds. I talk about this card all the time because the sevens can be very important, and I think they're kind of overlooked because a lot of people, I think, just kind of see, it's not to say, like, obviously we're all kind of intuitive readers, but there's a lot of depth to the sevens. And one of the things that's really important about it is to make sure that you're actually planting those seeds, that you're not just watering dirt and waiting for something to grow. And so it's a little bit of like, get back out there. I don't mind dating sites. I really don't. I've had more good experiences than bad ones. But yeah, we'll see. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So it looks like there's one opportunity that's being lost for a new opportunity to come in. And so that is just trusting that whatever is not for you, the universe is removing for a reason. It's to make room for this better opportunity. There's also a little bit of getting out of your head when it comes to relationships. Again, I mean, it's kind of funny because it's like a lot of what I do is trying to help, give advice and guidance through relationships. But I think that a lot of like, especially the advice online and like content creators, it really like pathologizes dating and relationships to a point where it becomes really complicated. And there's this need to kind of like zoom out and be like, it's not all a game. It doesn't all need to, like, you don't even have to worry about it. Sometimes it's as simple as like, are you enjoying yourself? Do you have fun with this person? Then why does it matter if they take 2 hours to respond to a text or 4 hours to respond to a text? Like, not everything is a bad omen, or not everything is a reason to discard somebody. Oh yeah. I'm seeing a lot of trauma bond because we're getting the Devil card in reverse, and this is that trauma bond to somebody. So I think that for some of you, Aries, this cycle is completely freeing yourself from somebody toxic from the past and just leaving it in the past and moving forward. And, again, it's about that breaking cycles. To make room for something better. That's what I mean. It's like we're getting the Devil in reverse into the Ten of Cups, which is that long-term kind of happily ever after love connection. For some of you, this could be a single parent, or for some of you, this may be a single parent. The King of Cups is kind of like paternal energy. In this deck, it's actually called the single dad card. And some of that could be like like breaking cycles. It's like if there's somebody who you may have like considered not an option because kids are involved or something like that, to just keep an open mind. Oh, and then we're getting the King of Swords. This suggests also like a really strong communication, like mental connection with somebody that you can talk to for a long time. The King of Swords is also very truthful. And so this is somebody who's very honest. I think this kind of hints to, and it can be a man or a woman, but these energies we all kind of have masculine and feminine energies in us. So it can also be like a very intellectual woman, or a single mom. It's more just that this is somebody who may lead with their personality more than, we'll say, intimacy. If I were seeing more wands, those King of Wands, Page of Wands, like then you're like, okay, which there's a little bit of that. That's that physical attraction and chemistry. But there's also this deeper, strong communication and intellectual connection. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And then the Death card, which is a transformation. It's a difficult but for the better transformation. Again, I feel this like, okay, we're leaving things in the past. We're releasing things, cutting these soul ties to people, trauma bonds. And sometimes that can be really painful. And with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, it kind of feels like this may have been like a long journey. This isn't just like some toxic 2-week relationship that then, they were like so into you and now all of a sudden they're ghosting you. This feels like something deeper than that. And there's just this need to release and make room for something better coming in. All right, I'm going to use my first deck as almost like how I use the oracles, and then we'll get the final messages. All right, what other information? I'm going to talk to the cards a little bit. Ignore me. All right, what information can you give about the new person coming in? Who's this new person? Two of Cups. It's going to come in quick. Speed, rapid action, movement, swift change, and manifesting quickly. So you guys might want to consider, like if you're single, you might want to consider manifesting this. It can also be if you're in a relationship. It's really speaking into the universe positive thoughts about the relationship. They are so in love with me, we are going to be so happy together. We have a healthy relationship. I love, our healthy relationship. And it's just speaking that into the universe, manifesting that good energy. Oh, Knight of Wands. See, I was just talking about, like, I was like, oh, like, feels like a deeper connection. But there's also going to be, like, some chemistry here. It's also going to be fiery. You don't have to worry about it being, no connection, no spark. There'll be some spark here as well. Okay, and so then there's also, with the Hangman, this idea of pause, and possibly a season of being single, and possibly a season of just being patient and waiting for it to come in when the timing is right. Not settling. All right, let's get the final messages. Ooh, divorce. And Six of Wands. So this might not apply to everybody. This just came out at the end, and it might be a specific message for some Aries. I think for some of you, when I'm seeing this toxicity, I'm seeing single parenthood, when I'm seeing this patience, this anxiety, I mean, you could see that this is probably somebody, again, it doesn't have to be a literal divorce. It could be getting out of a long-term relationship. But when I see it with the Six of Wands, there's a feeling of defeat. And having been divorced myself, I know that sometimes there's this feeling of, am I lovable? What's wrong with me that my marriage didn't work? What, also a little bit of that public perception. The Six of Wands is a lot about public perception. You could see that they're riding through town, and it's almost like a victory parade. And when it's in reverse, it's this fear of what other people think. And sometimes that fear drives us to get into relationships we shouldn't be in, almost to prove that we are deserving of love, that we aren't the problem or something. And so when I see that next to the Hangman, it's kind of that, like, you don't have anything to prove to anybody. Enjoy maybe a season of being single. You don't need to rush this. When it comes in, it'll come in quick, and it'll be something very stable, somebody very truthful, and to just kind of surrender to the season that you're in and trust that what's on the other side of this will be much better. All right, I'm going to end it on that note. I hope you're all doing really well, and I will hopefully talk to you all soon.